welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to talk to you today about something that has been requested so many times and I have successfully postponed. But today I feel like this is the moment where I finally talk about the law of attraction. Now, if you clicked on this video and you saw the title, you probably have a little bit of open-mindedness about the subject and you might know something about it already. But if you don't, or if you really don't believe in it, I invite you to be as open-minded as you can possibly be for the next 10 minutes, because this is something that I believe truly made my life the dream life that I always wanted. And you never know, maybe you'll find some value in it. So what is the law of attraction? I think the more you learn about it, the more you realize how much there is to uncover, from stories that people share, like mine, to seeing how all religions are kind of saying the same thing, to looking into quantum physics and how uncertain reality actually is, but we don't even realize it, and that there are only perceptions about the world, that there's no objective physical world out there. This is one of the reasons why I kept postponing making this video, because I feel like there's so much I want to say, but I will try my best. The way I understand it is that the law of attraction states that we live in a vibrational universe, and whatever vibration you emit into the universe is the vibration that you receive back. An analogy for the law of attraction that I heard and really liked is that it's like the radio. You can tune in into different wavelengths, and depending on which specific wavelengths you tune into is the type of music or the radio station that you will hear. The law of attraction states that you always have your radio turned on. You're always attracting something, even if you're not aware of it, even if you don't believe in the law of attraction. It says that this is how the universe works, and the great thing is that you can use it to become a creator and create your life. Now, you can probably see how this can be problematic. It's pretty much non-falsifiable, which means that there's no experiment that you can conduct to prove that it's wrong. But I believe that there are so many ways that you can explain why it is the way it is, even if you don't believe into like the spiritual stuff, or you can believe into everything at the same time, or nothing at all, whatever. Like, the idea itself is very simple. If you are focused on something specific, if you put all your energy into it, it kind of makes sense that that thing will grow. Whatever you focus on grows, and that's your thoughts, that's your feelings, that's the vibration that you emit into the universe, and that it makes sense that that will come back to you. Now, if you don't believe that you can create your reality and that we are all just the universe observing itself and being conscious of itself through us, and that we're extension of the universe and we have the power that creates worlds, because that's kind of what the universe does as it's expanding, you can also just think about it logically. If you have a specific goal and if you really start believing that you can achieve it, it makes you actionable. You will actually start taking steps every day, subconsciously or consciously, to achieve that goal. So maybe in 3, 5, 10, 20 years, you'll actually have that thing and you attracted it into your reality, either because you're a vibrational creator of your life, or because, you know, you just thought about it, you did something for it, you believed in yourself and you got it. Depends on how you see it. I personally like to look at it from many ways, from the attentional bias, which kind of means that whatever we think about is what we find in the world, to the spiritual way. I attract what I am, so I want to be love. I want to be myself to attract the truest things for me. To quantum physics, experiments in quantum physics that show that reality literally changes if we observe it. If you're curious about it more from the quantum physics perspective, I highly recommend googling the double slit experiment and also the delayed choice quantum eraser experiment. It's really interesting stuff. Okay, now that we've conceptualized it, let's go to my personal examples and the specific methods that I use to apply the law of attraction beneficially for my life. I found out about the law of attraction when I was 12. I watched a movie that is called The Secret. I highly recommend you to watch it, again with a very open mind. It really inspired me at the time, and I remember I had this notebook and I would like write down all the interesting quotes from the people that talked about it in that movie and the stories that they had, and that gave me a lot of fuel for taking action to make my life what I want my life to be. Some of the methods that they talked about were positivity, visualization, following your gut, and if you're feeling good about something, just continue going down that path instead of doubting yourself. At the time, I had a very specific goal. I wanted to be in an exchange program that was called Future Leaders Exchange, or FLEX. I know it sounds very humble. I am from Moscow, Russia, and when I was 12, I didn't travel much at all, but I always dreamed about it. I was also really obsessed with the American culture because I was learning English and I really wanted to see the world. This program was sponsored by the US Department of State, and it was like a full ride scholarship. They paid for your round round trip. They put you in the host family. They give you a stipend every month. And it was extremely selective. So they only accepted like 2% of the 14,000 applicants. I'm just explaining it to say how unrealistic it was for me at the time because my English was bad. I didn't travel before, so it's not like I had exposure to that life. Didn't have any international friends. I was just a regular kid going to a regular school in Moscow and living my life. But for some reason, my 12-year-old self, which honestly every day I just aspire to be like when I was 12, and the amount of self-belief I had at that time, I was like, okay, no, I'm gonna do it. Also because of my age, I went to school very early, so instead of having like 3 chances of applying to the program every year, I only had one shot of applying and getting in. And if I didn't get accepted that year, I wouldn't have any other opportunities like other students. So that made it so narrow, but I was so determined. And I remember when I decided that I want to do it, I did 2 things. First of all, my sister remembers it, I hope, because she was in my room. Okay, I'm showing you such personal stuff, but we got the receipts. I drew this word flex and I like colored it with markers, and I put it on the wall in my room, so it was above my desk, and every single day I saw it. It reminded me of what my goal was, even though the goal was like 3 years ahead. Was it really on my wall for like 3 years? I can't believe it. So that's the first thing I did. That was kind of my commitment to my goal. And the second thing I did, I gathered my parents and I set them down. I was like, guys, I have something really important I need to tell you right now. They were kind of worried, and I was just like, guys, in 3 years, I'm going to America. I'm going to America for a year, and I need you to be okay with this. I want to discuss it with you now, so in 3 years you're not surprised and you don't like say no. Do you approve of this dream? And they were like laughing, and they're like, of course, yeah, like go for it. And they were very supportive because I think they didn't expect me to actually do it. But yeah, that was the 2 actions I took to kind of validate my dream, get the green light from my parents because I was 12, and also commit myself to it internally. There are 3 things I did all the time to get that dream come true. The first one was that I studied English really hard. I bought a student's book, did it in a month on my summer break. Every single day I would study. I was so obsessed I would like watch movies with subtitles. I would write down all the subtitles and interesting words that I found. I bought a dictionary. I was ahead in my English class at school, like ahead of the lesson plan, because I would just study English so much. It was my passion. So I worked hard for it. The second thing I did was visualization. I remember I would sit on my bed in my room. I would close my eyes and imagine myself on the plane. I imagined what the seat felt like. I imagined the lights, the people around me, the window, and like this anticipation of flying somewhere. I was like, it's gonna be a long flight. Oh my god, I can't believe I actually made it. Like I'm going there. And I would sit in that feeling for a few minutes, and I did it as often as I wanted, and it just filled me up with so much joy and gratitude of like, I did it, I made it, like I'm going there. That was incredible. And every night before going to bed, I would thank the universe for the things that haven't happened yet, but I really wanted to happen, and they would change, but the thing that always stayed was the exchange program and graduating from my music school with a red diploma. That didn't happen. I got 1B, but I never really wanted that, like I never worked for it, so I think that's why that didn't happen. But the exchange program was my dream. So every night in bed I'd be like, thank you universe that I got into the exchange program, it's amazing. So that was the first big goal I accomplished when I was 15, when I actually got the call that I got in. It was pretty special. I remember how I was on that airplane seat, and I remember it was sunrise when I was taking off, and it was weird because I imagined it exactly that way, like with the aisle to the left of me. I remember there was mist on the ground before the plane took off, and while we were taking off I saw a sunrise when the plane was about to turn, and like for those 10 seconds when I was looking at that sun rising, I was like, this is a good sign. This is so symbolic to me making it happen. Still gives me like chills because it was just so special. And then the plane turned and we just went to DC. That's where my journey started. The second story I want to tell is my dream to get accepted into Minerva, which was also really special because that road was a lot more treacherous. After the exchange program ended, I flew from Arizona back to Moscow, Russia, where I'm from, and I spent 2 years there. Graduated from high school, and I went to a university in Moscow because I was really fucking depressed. I also applied to some American universities in my senior year. I didn't get into any, but that's also because I think it was just a very negative, sad, doubtful mindset. This is just an awful state of mind, and that's something about the law of attraction that I've learned. It's not like you're attracting whatever you're thinking about, it's what you're feeling and what you are. So what you feel is usually translated into your thoughts, and what you think about sometimes affects your feelings. So that's the connection, and that's why I think a lot of people say like, oh, you just gotta be positive and everything will work out. But even if you're saying positive things, but inside you feel like this, I'm a failure, or inside you feel like guilt or resentment, it's not gonna work. You're just gonna keep attracting that guilt and resentment and just basically getting what you think you deserve. And that's another thing about the law of attraction, is that I am the universe. I know it may sound off, but it's such a deep realization for me. I noticed recently that when some things don't work out, like little things, like I really want this food item on the menu, but at every place I go to, they just don't have it. And then I think like, oh, the universe just doesn't want me to have this. And then I had to stop myself and realize that it's not that the universe doesn't want me to have this, it's just that I don't think that this is good for me. It's like inside I feel guilty about eating this specific thing that I'm trying to find. Of course, when I get to the place, they're sold out. I'm talking about croissants. I'm trying to say that even in times when I forget about the law of attraction, it's working. Why do I keep meeting guys that disappoint me? Well, maybe it's because I don't think I deserve something else, or maybe it's because I'm not specific of what I want out of a relationship. And it's usually in patterns. It's not just one person that does something to you, it's like many people, and over the years you just see the pattern if you're lucky. And once you become aware of it, you kind of go into those deep assumptions you have about yourself or about the world and what you believe you should have. And changing those is such a powerful thing because it literally changes your life. The next two examples I want to talk about Minerva and also relationships. I found out about Minerva when I practically gave up on myself. As I said, I applied to some American schools when I was in my senior year, didn't get into any, felt like a failure. It was an awful time in my life. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop chasing that. I'm just gonna focus on what I have right now, and I'm gonna go to this Russian university, which was like a top school that I got in, and I was like, why not just go there? And I completely let go of this dream of studying in the US. That's when I found out about Minerva, and it was another insane thing because the whole time I was back in Russia, I was dreaming about traveling and studying at the same time. I was like, I really wanna travel, but I don't wanna be a tourist. Like I wanna do something while I travel, and I wanna study, I wanna get an education, I really wanna get a bachelor's degree, but I don't wanna stay in one place. And at the time, like a program like that, I never heard of such thing. And so I was looking to like study abroad programs at all the universities, like everywhere. I even thought about applying to Germany, but last moment I like forgot about some document and I couldn't apply by the deadline, and I was so upset. But then I was like, you know what? In retrospect, worked out perfectly. I found out about Minerva through one of the social media groups that we had after the exchange program, like all the alumni. And somebody posted, hey guys, have you heard about Minerva? I was like, what is Minerva? I just googled it. I remember looking through the website and I was like, dream made. And I really wanted to apply, but I wasn't going to because I didn't have the amount of self-belief I had when I was 12, okay? I was already like 18. I was like, the world is tough, I'm not good enough, anxiety, all of those things. Until I talked to some people and realized that I should do it. So this is my Minerva poster. Also had it for a while. Has Minerva on it. Visa, because I need an American visa. San Francisco. It has a lot of 5s on it because it's like the highest grade you can get at Minerva. Didn't get too many of those to be honest, but I got some, so that's whatever. I also put Ascent, which is like the weekend Minerva organizes in spring for all the admitted students. Didn't get to go there. There's just so much stuff on this one instead of just focusing on one specific thing, whereas I feel like with the old one, it's just flex. That's it. There's nothing else on it, and I think because I was so focused on it, that's exactly what I attracted. But when I put so many things, it's not like I really wanted every single one of them. Like, why would I put a bunch of 5s? Why do I need like validation through grades? I don't care about it that much, but I still put it on because I was like, guess that's a good thing. I feel like I attracted the most important thing, which was Minerva, and that's exactly what I had dreamed of. The way I did it is, again, visualization. That's, to this day, I think one of the most powerful things for me is daydreaming. I applied January 17th, got my admissions letter February 8th, I think. The whole month of January, every single day, I kid you not, I would lay in my bed and daydream, and I was dreaming about Minerva every single day. I was dreaming about where I'm gonna go, what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna eat, eat. I would have like conversations with people in my head, like all the amazing people I'm gonna meet. I just put myself into the state of like, it can happen. I believe in myself. I can do it. I can do it. I think that's something that helped me through the application process because I believed in it so much. And once I applied, I didn't think about Minerva at all. Like I just let go of it. I was like, I'm not gonna stress about it. I did all the work. The results are not in my power. So I'm just gonna see if this is the right direction for me. If I don't get in, it just means that I need a different, better direction in life. Another interesting thing is that I don't have it with me, unfortunately, now because it's at home in Moscow, but I made a vision board about a year before I found out about Minerva. I really want to do a video where I make a vision board with you guys, so I'll ask my mom to find it and hopefully she'll send me a picture. But also another thing I did, I had this old ticket from US Airways. I flew to Los Angeles when I was on my exchange program and I really wanted to go back there because my best friend lived there, and I just put it here and I was like, ticket to the US 2017 pretending like that's the ticket I'm gonna have when I go to Minerva. And that's exactly what happened because I first flew to Los Angeles and I spent like 10 days with my best friend, which was the most amazing time ever. And then I went to Minerva. And lastly, I want to show you these postcards. So my best friend, she lived in LA and she went on a weekend to San Francisco spontaneously, and she sent me these postcards. And this is San Francisco. They were on my wall the whole time. I got these before I knew about Minerva and I applied to Minerva. So then when I got in, I was like, dude, it's literally San Francisco. Like I couldn't believe it that it was on my wall the whole time, and that's where I was going to live, you know, because I never dreamed about living in San Francisco, but things just happened that way. And the funny thing is that I never dreamed about being at Minerva. What I dreamed about was traveling and studying. And I think the reason why I even attracted the knowledge about Minerva into my life is because I was so laser focused on my desire. I said it out loud. I think that's why it's so important to talk about your dreams. First, to be honest with yourself, then speak about them with your closest circle, and then just talk about them with people. Because yes, some of them may say that's crazy, but that's great because it means that you're actually living your life to the fullest and you're dreaming about things that are outside of your current exposure, current life, and you see a world that's bigger than yours and you're gonna grow from it. If somebody says that your dream is crazy, just thank them. But mostly it's good because if you share it with your closest friends, they will probably support you, especially because when you talk about your desires with people, you never know who knows some person that could make that dream come true, or who knows about this program that actually matches your goals. I think most importantly, it just makes you believe in it that that's real. I never talked about YouTube with any of my friends or any people around me really because I didn't think I was enough, like good enough to do it, or was something worthy of talking to people with, because they would just like laugh at me like, why do you want a YouTube channel? But I feel like once I started actually talking about it last semester when I was in Berlin, I kind of started taking it more seriously and believing in myself that yes, I can upload every week and yes, I can connect with people and grow this. And instead of feeling small and not taking it like as an actual dream, which I know it is inside, talking about it with my friends and then with other people, it kind of made me feel more validated into, no, actually I can do it. I want to do it. This is my dream, like to have a YouTube channel, to grow it and to meet more people. I really hope that what I'm doing now is actually making it happen, like I'm working for it. Anyways, went off the topic. The last example I wanted to talk about is about relationships and attracting the relationship of your dreams. But I feel like this video is already so long. So let me know in the comments if you want me to make another video specifically about relationships and using the law of attraction for that. That's pretty much it. I hope this was informative and interesting at the same time. I hope it inspired you to go out and define your dreams and work for your dreams and believe in yourself, because that's the way to do life, I think. I hope. Also, if you have a story with the law of attraction that you used intentionally or it just happened spontaneously and only now you're realizing that that's what you did, please leave it down in the comments as well, and next week I will feature one of the stories here. Also, just wanted to say that I'm not an expert. I'm just someone who's really passionate about it, so it's not a science, you know. I'm just sharing my thoughts. Probably should have put that disclaimer in the beginning. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next week with a brand new video, but until then, I hope that you're having a wonderful, grateful time wherever you are in the world and whatever you're doing.